Hi everyone, welcome to another Radical Randy Activist production. Today's meme, corporate rule.
Corporate rule? I thought we lived in a democracy.
We do of course live in a formal democracy where people get to vote every few years, but things don't seem to change very much for the better. Many people are angry about the way things are being run, but most don't seem to understand the basic underlying problem.
So what exactly is corporate rule supposed to be?
A few hundred transnational corporations and banks dominate the global economy, giving them immense economic power. Corporations also own the mass media conglomerates and primarily finance them with their advertising dollars. And they exert massive influence over governments. This unholy trinity gives corporations the ability to largely dictate government policies, which will then be championed by the corporate media.
What kind of policies?
For the last several decades, governments worldwide have engaged in deregulation and attacks on organized labor and workers' rights, as well as corporate-led globalization with its free trade treaties and outsourcing of jobs to overseas sweatshops. There's been constant pressure for more tax cuts, mainly for the wealthy and big business, with resulting privatization and cuts to education, healthcare, and social programs. We've seen the American-led wars and invasions cheered on by corporate media that produce huge corporate profits. Following the 2008 Wall Street crash, the new push has been for austerity cuts for workers. These policies have been imposed by both socially conservative and liberal governments.
So how did all this come about?
Corporate rule has been enabled by the rise of neoliberal trickle-down economics, where the market and economy are held as supreme over all else. This has been combined with promoting the interests of big business, justifying policies that favor corporate profits over people. All this gives the wealthy the power to direct and shape public policy to their benefit.
The wealthy? So is it the rich now or the corporations who are running things?
Both. Ownership of corporations is overwhelmingly and increasingly concentrated in the hands of the wealthy, so corporate rule is effectively government by the rich, a plutocracy.
What's the media got to do with all this?
Corporate mass media promotes economic growth at all costs, and the doctrine that only unrestricted corporate capitalism can accomplish this. It limits the range of options to those acceptable to the economic and political elites. Corporate media selects and spins the news of the day, but even more importantly, helps to propagate neoliberal myths, as do slanted studies by corporate-funded think tanks.
Sounds like some sort of big conspiracy.
It's just organized greed, the rich looking after their own individual and class interests.
Class interests? What are you trying to do? Start some sort of class warfare or something?
No, but the wealthy elites and their corporations have been engaged in an undeclared class war against the rest of society for decades, and they've been winning.
So what's so bad about corporate rule?
Government policy is diverted from serving the interests of the public to further enriching those who already have too much. Some of the results of this are massive environmental destruction and global warming, increased poverty and inequality, the attempted corporate takeover of the global commons, including Medicare, education, and even water, and worsening more insecure McJobs with stagnating or falling real wages. Additionally, the emphasis on material wealth has led to an empty consumerism paid for by massive personal debt. The ultimate goal has been to roll back the gains of the 99% made during the 20th century.
But aren't many people already fighting these policies?
Well, activists who don't understand corporate rule are just fighting isolated fires, not the underlying cause of war, poverty, or environmental damage. Random struggles with nothing tying them together. And even people who don't oppose the corporations themselves probably aren't in favor of them running the world. Corporate rule may not cause all of our political and economic problems, but it is the elephant in the room we can't afford to ignore. If we want a sustainable economy and a fair society, our best hope is to recognize and resist domination by our corporate overlords. Want a better world tomorrow? Fight corporate rule today. To view other online videos in this series, just click on the Radical Randy Activist icon, or click subscribe, or search for Radical Randy Activist on YouTube.com. For web and news sites, books, DVDs, and much more on this and other economic and political topics for Alberta, Canada, the US, and the world, check out EdmontonActivistResources.org. For more information on corporate rule, check out the books, DVDs, websites, and online videos by the following authors.